Good morning, everyone. It's Lindsey Huddleston back in the building with another SPS Monday Motivation Cleveland edition. That's right. I'm still in Cleveland, Ohio, wrapping up from the first and second round of the NCAA tournament. And the Michigan State Spartans, I headed to Atlanta for the Sweet 16. Hey, it was a great time, and that kind of inspired my message even before I knew they were going to be doing that. Here's a clip from me courtside last.
Michigan State 71.
Yeah, a little pep in Flight 55 Corn Car Step is not just because they're going to the Sweet 16, but he's going home. A native of Stockbridge, Georgia. Coach Izzo say, all the meals on you, right? He said, yeah, I got you. But yeah, that was a great thing. As I say, my topics are always either from my personal life or the headlines. And I must admit that this topic came to me late last week as I was just getting some rest, and it just kind of shot into my brain and my heart at the same time. And I have my mother. Good morning. I know you've been up for a while, Mom. I saw you liking things a while ago. I was going to check in with you after this. Good morning, Mother. Good morning, son. Good win. It was a good win, no doubt. But she is not going to want to talk about that if the possibility of the Spartans and the Wolverines face up. It'd be some bad blood in the household, but it's all to the good, Mama. I love you for that. But this topic hit me. I was getting some rest and thinking about some things, and it just came into my mind and my heart. Don't be like them that didn't do it. And I said, man, where's this coming from? So I started down that road. And to talk about this, many people give up because they listen to doubt, compare themselves to others, or they fail to stay consistent. That's one thing that burns me up. But I'm here to say, if you believe in yourself, stay in your lane, and put in the work every day, success is inevitable. It's inevitable. Keep going because your future self will thank you for the seeds you plant today. I always think about years ago when I was outside at a football game with SPS on a Friday night in Clarkston. It was cold. The wind is coming through. I said, what am I doing? Same thing when I would go like cover Belleville. If you ever been at a Belleville game for football at night, it gets cold. I'm saying, what am I doing? But here I am showing you a clip, me sitting courtside at the NCAA tournament, being a significant contributor, making connections and things like that. And that has been a good thing. Michelle Mimi Walker's in the morning. Good morning, Michelle. How are you? Hope all is well. Thank you for always checking in. I'm in Cleveland, but I'll be headed back to town shortly. And it's always a good thing. I got my brother Forrest Boyer. What does he mean? Beat by beat, brick by brick. That's right. Keep building. That's right in tune with our message. I know you're happy about those Spartans as well. Forrest always showing love. Yeah, so to that point, guys, don't be like them that didn't do it, right? Don't be like them that didn't do it. We'll go to church a little bit today. When I looked up what I wrote, don't be like them that didn't do it, I put it in a Google search, and it came up with a scripture. Came up with Matthew 23:13. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites. You shut the door of the kingdom of heaven in people's faces. You yourselves do not enter, nor will you let others enter who are trying to. What does that mean? I took it as in life, many people will have opinions about your path, Force. Some will doubt you, others will discourage you, and some will project their own fears onto you. This happens so much, right? We always worried about what is somebody going to say, and I got a plan. Using Forrest as an example, Forrest Boy, a very strategic thinker, always got a plan, but at the time, it may seem so different from everyone else. And we get discouraged so many times that we lose out on our own opportunity, our own blessings. Isn't that right, Michelle? We don't get caught up in what we need to focus on. We worry about so many other things and what so many other people are thinking and doing. But the key to success is staying in your own lane, believing in yourself, and putting in that work consistently no matter what others say. I probably said this before about the term staying in your own lane. When I worked in Governor Jennifer Granholm's office, that was a term where you stay in your lane. You didn't want anybody saying stay in your lane because it means you're doing too much. But stay in your lane is such an important thing, and it doesn't mean you are limited. It means that's where your action is, right? What do people say? I know your lane sucks, but stay in it. Why? Because when you're in your own lane, there's no traffic there. When you finally decide to do your own thing, that's where you can work and operate. SPS, as an example, has been able to grow not only with sports psychology, sports media, and sports policy. It's because I've been able to stay in my own lane and opportunities that present themselves because of the work and the consistency. Now we can talk about a financial topic that's relative to our everyday life, the concept of compound interest, often used in finance, and I've used this term a lot. Also applies to personal growth and success. It's the small, consistent effort you put in today will yield you significant rewards over time. As Forrest Boyer said, B by B, BBB, brick by brick. Check this out. This is what it looked like. You go from stacking your coins, you get to stacking your bread, right? It's compound interest from a small amount, then a bigger amount, and then another amount. That's what your work that you put in, the things that you're working on. Believe in this concept. It is work. I'm living proof of it. I just try to use the example, what SPS has grown to from, being courtside at a high school championship game to being able to be part of the NCAA and have a great time and great experience doing it. Some great interaction with Coach Tom Izzo and the players. I just use that as an example of what we can do going forward. Now, how do we help with that? The first thing you can work on is following your path and staying in your own lane. We talked about that. Your journey is unique. I think I should stop right there and pause. Your journey is unique. It's not going to be like everyone else's. And trying to conform to someone else's expectations can lead to missed opportunities. You keep following up with someone you may respect who said, hey, you should do it like this. And okay, I understand you want to get that information, but your journey is like a fingerprint. It's going to be significant and singular to you. Keep that in mind. Also, research shows that those who pursue intrinsic motivation, right? Doing things because they find them meaningful are more likely to sustain long-term success and fulfillment, right? It's that intrinsic motivation. What motivates you? Not what motivates your friends, not what motivates your family, what motivates you? And if you do that, you can have that long-term success because it's about the long term. That's right. Michelle Mimi Walker says facts. I love when she say facts. I mean, I didn't hit on something right. And that's what we want to say. And also, my mother says, like you say, got to put in that work. You got to love the work. See, the problem is, mother, we don't follow things that we're passionate about, so we're not willing to work on it. If you're not passionate about it, if it doesn't bring you any intrinsic value, then you're not going to be interested in doing it. You're not going to want to do the work because, to be honest, I'm working this weekend. SPS has had a 3-day weekend. Got to get on the road, but this work has been a labor of love. It's been something I've enjoyed. It's work, no doubt. Believe me, getting things done, shutting down my day at 4 a.m, but it's something that I'm passionate about and I enjoy, and it's having a meaningful impact. So you got to love the work. So why don't you get a job doing something you want to do? Now, you may say, Lindsay, I can't just leave my job. I'm not saying that as far as a job, but what is it that you're passionate about that you can continue to work on, you can make an impact on, It may be lifting other people up. It may be all these other things, but you got to keep those things in mind going forward. Mother, I appreciate you sharing that. Also, another thing is when you focus on your strength and your goals rather than comparing yourself to others, you create momentum that propels you forward. So many times we say, I don't have what so-and-so have. Well, I don't do it like they do it. But what about your strength and goals that have got you so far? What about the things that have really worked for you, that come natural for you, that if you just hone them a little bit more, it puts you in a separate stratosphere, right? Forrest Boyer says, if you love it, it's not work. Come on, Forrest. How you going to drop one on me this morning just like that? They need to hear that. What does Forrest Boyer say? Very successful businessman. Hey, lover of sports, family man, all the whole thing. Hey, Forrest, you might as well run for president. But like he said, if you love it, it's not work. But what we do, Forrest, we get in relationships with things that we're not in love with. We build these relationships with things we don't care about because we think that it's what we're supposed to do, but it's not what you're passionate about. We can be so many things to so many other people and none of that to ourselves. We can be so many things to so many other people and none of that to ourselves. We can encourage other people. We can support other people. We can love on other people, but we won't encourage ourselves to follow our dreams. We won't support our own dreams going forward. We won't even love on ourselves. As Forrest says, if you love it, it's not work, all right? Okay, also believing in yourself despite external opinions, those opinions outside of what's going on right here, right? Psychological research on self-efficacy suggests that believing in your ability to succeed is a key factor in actually achieving success. Can I do this? Do I really believe it? Maybe that's another point within itself. Do we really believe in what we are able to achieve? But self-efficacy comes from the work. What work have you put in? Were you shooting in the gym? Were you getting shots up? Were you running? Were you training? Were you eating right? Were you doing all the things you need to do from an athletic standpoint? Mentally, physically, spiritually, are you reading? Are you praying? Are you meditating? Are you putting in the work? See, Ice Cube got the best quote out. He said, don't get mad for what you didn't get for work you didn't do. Don't get mad for what you didn't get for work you didn't do. So it's not about beating yourself down because you didn't put in that work, but it's saying and realize, you know what? I got to work on this a little bit. I got to work on this a little bit. And bumps will come along the way. Tawana Rogers says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. So good to see you. Forrest shots back out and says, you get out of it what you put into it. Basic, powerful principles. But we got to get to the point for us where we're ready just to get out there. And whether you are a young person in your 19, 20-year-old age range or 20 years added to that, whatever it may be, every day is a new opportunity to become a new you. Don't say, I'm too old, man. I can't try this. How long that going to take? As soon as you talk to young people about going to medical school, well, how long do it take? Well, as long as God give you, right? Who you in a race with? Well, you working on something that's going to give you success, right? Ezra Bell says, Grand Rising, fam. We trying to get it going, man. Don't be like them that didn't do it. Got to get out there. Got a quote right here from Rory Vaden. He's a successful entrepreneur. He says, successful people have all had to do things they didn't feel like doing in order to get where they are. I'll say that again. Successful people have all had to do things they didn't feel like doing to get where they are. See, that's the other part. Sometimes we think it's supposed to just be smooth sailing. Ain't that right, Forrest? Forrest, we know that we both have had our experiences in life where things were transitioning and changing and wasn't the way we wanted to be, but we had to go through that point to get where we are right now. People have to understand that concept, right? Also, it's rolling now. I got Reggie White. Good morning, good brother. Perfect practice makes perfect. Put the right work in. That's right, Reggie White. Shout out to you, brother. I hope you're doing well. You know what, Reggie? On Thursday of last week, I came down from East Lansing, picked up my friend, picked up Carl Blackshears, hung out with him, and we rolled through the neighborhood. I remember riding past your parents' house right there on Pembroke and Vaughn. And I even thought about our childhood. But good to see you, brother. Hope all is well. Forrest Boyer says, how long will it take? You got a lifetime. That's what I'm saying. How long that's going to be? Talk about people being in line for 3 minutes. Man, this don't make no sense. Got to have a little patience. My mother says, good morning. I know you saying good morning to Tawana. I know family right there. Got my brother Dwayne Willie to take it back to, Dwayne, we go back McKinney. Taff and Ford. Good morning, brother. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah, we just saying, don't be like them that didn't do it. Yep. Tawana Rogers to Patricia England. They saying hello to each other. Number friend. They go way back. So what I want to say with the time that I have, guys, don't be like those who didn't do it. I got a few more things I want to finish with. We're talking about that self-efficacy, and also those who develop resilience and confidence are more likely to overcome obstacles, even when faced with doubt and negativity from others. That's a growing opportunity too. If you're not getting the support you feel you deserve, that's an opportunity for growth because it helps you build your resilience to believe in myself. That might be when your villain origin story was made. Like, oh, you don't believe me? You ain't gonna roll me. Whatever it takes to motivate you going forward. Also, the last thing, the power of compound interest and hard work. We talked about that, right? Dwayne Willie said, yes, sir. Got my folks holding me down right there. Good to see you, brother. Now, finally, the concept of compound interest, like I talked about in finance, is that it states the small, consistent investments grow exponentially over time. Just take your time. Just keep working. Keep chipping away. Keep pushing. And finally, also, this principle applies to personal and professional development. Daily discipline, consistent effort, and perseverance compound into long-term success. Just stay on it. Keep working. Brick by brick by brick. Keep putting in that work. Those small positive actions repeated over time will lead to major achievements. You can do that. You can definitely do it. As Bell say, Taff in the building, Taff Bulldogs in the building. Look at all that love right there. Now, and again, I said this verse was from Matthew 23:13. It says, part Jesus' strong rebuke against the religious leaders of his time, the Pharisees, and the teachers of the law is essentially means this: condemnation of hypocrisy, blocking others from salvation, from the hating you're doing and telling somebody they can't do it, and you refuse salvation on yourselves when you argue against someone living in their purpose. Overall, the application and the thought has been Jesus is warning that religious authority without true righteousness and humility can lead to spiritual destruction for both leaders and those who follow them. So that's what I have to say. Tawana Rogers say, I think one of the hardest things in business is being consistent, but you can do it. I'm going to cut this off to make the mark. Peace.